Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2020 and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren if you're new here, and I've been wanting to make this video for a long time now. I actually, in case you cared, just got out of surgery yesterday and I'm recovering. So I'm so excited to bring you this video today because it's safe to say that the past 10 years of our lives have brought us some of the best, most iconic pop culture moments of all time. From the massive revolution of social media, royal weddings and baby watch, announcing the wrong winner on stage, and makeup and clothing brands finally recognizing and embracing all body sizes and skin shades. There's a lot to cover. Speaking of which, please check out these two totally embarrassing photos of me in 2010, 9 years ago. Yikes, baby Lauren. Okay, moving on. If this is your first one on my channel, hi, I'm Lauren. Make sure you are subscribed. I've got a whole bunch of exciting 2020 content coming at you, and I'm gonna take this thing off because I don't want to throw it across the room in the middle of the things. But yay, 2020 guys, we made it. Woo! Obviously I can't cover everything that went down in the past 10 years because then this would be a 3-hour long video, but I did compile 3 to 4-ish of my favorite moments per year. Let's hop right in. And starting with 2010. At the 2010 Video Music Awards, Lady Gaga wore an all meat dress. She wore meat purse, meat shoes, even wore this meat ensemble on stage, accepting her award for Video of the Year. Although this caused a huge uproar in the animal rights world, Time ended up naming Lady Gaga as the top fashion statement of the year. That definitely won't be something we forget, but it also kind of reminds me of Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake's all denim on denim outfit. I don't know, it's a weird thing, but you know what? I think it shaped a little bit of the 2010s and gave us a little foreshadowing into the weird 10 years ahead of us. Next up, Angry Birds. Remember them? Guys, these hot-headed little birds took over the world for a minute there. It has been called the largest mobile app success the world had seen so far. Whether you were on a road trip, in class, at the office, or pooping, let's be real here, you were probably playing Angry Birds. It also led to PC game versions of it, and they actually released an Angry Birds movie this past year. Such fun times. Did you guys ever buy into the hype of Angry Birds, or were you more of a Candy Crush person? I think I was more addicted to Candy Crush, but that's just me. And then last for 2010 is one of the original viral stars that the world has ever seen. And that, my friends, is Mr. Antoine Dodson. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because they ripping nobody up in here. Viral video. Oh, this might actually be the very first case of someone turning a viral moment into a remixed charting song called the Bedroom Intruder song. Yup. And Antoine Dodson ended up becoming a very rich man after he made merchandise. He had a few brand deals, but I'm not so sure where he is now. I do know that a year later in 2011, he got arrested for speeding and possession of marijuana. But yeah, I don't know where he is now. He's just definitely solidified his spot in the viral Hall of Fame. I mean, let's be honest, guys. He paved the way for people like Alex from Target, Cash Me Outside, Danielle Bergoli, and Sweet Brown, who just wanted to go outside to get herself a cold pop. Ain't nobody got time for that. Oh, I love the internet back then. That was so fun. Moving on to 2011. On April 29th, 2011, the day that we had all been waiting for had finally arrived. Well, I think it's safe to say that Kate Middleton was the one waiting for this day longer than us, but I am of course talking about the day that Prince William and Kate Middleton got married and became the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Kate Middleton was William's longtime girlfriend of 8 years, which also gave her the nickname Waity Katie. The reason that this was such a monumental moment is because Kate Middleton did not grow up in a royal family. She's what they would refer to as a commoner. So this gorgeous commoner ended up marrying into the British royal family, and she actually ended up giving birth to the future King George. An estimated 2 billion people tuned in to watch the televised wedding that brought us the lovely Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Love you guys. I like how this thing about the royal wedding, the royal baby watch, I buy into it so easily. What about you? What do you guys think? Also in 2011 was the rise of the incredible talent that is Adele. She released her album 21 and we have been rolling in the deep ever since. It's crazy to think far away that song is from us. I remember that being a huge deal. Adele's album 21 topped the charts in more than 30 countries and became the world's best-selling album of the year for both 2011 and 2012. Rolling in the deep though. And Someone Like You. Those are my 2 songs that I will belt in the car as loud as I can. And then in 2011 was another event that is still talked about today, and not in a good way. And that is Kim Kardashian's extremely lavish televised wedding to Kris Humphries, and then Kim filing for divorce 72 days after said marriage. 72 days! Oh my god. Well, I don't care if you like the Kardashians or if you hate them, no matter what you think, this became a huge moment in pop culture history. And they basically became the butt of every joke in 2011. This might have even arguably taken the spotlight off of Britney Spears marrying her high school boyfriend, Jason Alexander, for a whopping 55 hours before, you know, sobering up and filing the annulment. Another reason this wedding and quick divorce caused such an uproar is because at this point, same-sex marriage was not legal. All media reports were bashing Kim and Chris for their short-lived marriage because there are actually true couples out there in love who do not even have the privilege or the right to get married. So for Kim to just throw around the idea of marriage like it's a purse that she's ready to return had a lot of America feeling some type of way. And then I did have to squeeze in this little moment for 2011 because it was so epic and I believe that every muggle's heart broke. The Harry Potter movie installation ended on July 15th, 2011 when it aired Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I know I hate that it's over so much, but I want a new one. I want a new book. That used to be like the highlight of my summer was when J.K. Rowling would release a new book. My mom would have it sent to my camp and I read it in camp in the first days. I love Harry Potter. Ravenclaw for life. Okay, anyways. Long live Harry Potter. We're moving on to 2012. In 2012, Psy released Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but you know who I'm talking about, right? Well, the world responded back very, very positively. The Gangnam Style dance challenge became a worldwide sensation, and as of recording this video, Psy's Gangnam Style has a total of 3.4 billion views on YouTube. Billion. That's a lot. So crazy, and yet, I get it because it is such a crazy song. I just always love the dance viral trends. That's kind of my favorite thing. Oh, remember the mannequin challenge? That was a fun one. That was a really great year. And then in 2012, we were introduced to the first movie installation of The Hunger Games. And with that came our love for Jennifer Lawrence and her quirks and her interviews and just everything about her. Because I mean, hello, Katniss Everdeen, she killed it. And then this next one from 2012 just brings me back to some of my most fun days in college because Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen was released and it took over the world. It became one of the catchiest, most overplayed songs of the summer, and honestly, I had no problems with it. Don't tell me you never liked or sang the song because that's a damn lie and you know it. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. Moving on to 2013, my college graduation year, actually. 2013 was a big year for pop culture, so let's start with none other than Frozen. Arguably one of Disney's most successful animated films from the last decade, and it started an entire cult following of Annas and Elsas and Olafs just running around in costume screaming, "Let it go, let it go." I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm a big fan of Frozen as well. I still haven't seen Frozen 2. I need to do that, but snow never bothered me anyway. Dun, 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 dun. Next up is an event that we will be talking about until the end of time, not just this decade. And that is the era of asking ourselves, what happened to Miley Cyrus? Don't get me wrong, guys. I love Miley Cyrus. Hi, am I boring you? I'm boring my dog to death. 2013 was the year that we saw Miley break through some pop culture norms by swinging on a wrecking ball naked. She was licking the hammer. We didn't really know what was going on, but honestly, when you go back and watch it, it still is a pretty epic music video that she just wanted to do that, whatever. Very iconic music video, but the real star of the age of Miley Cyrus was, of course, the 2013 VMAs when Miley just was twerking on Robin Thicke with her tongue hanging out. Yeah, that was definitely the year of Miley Cyrus, I've gotta say. If your parents didn't know who she was then, I bet they do now. Now, my last moment from 2013 might confuse you a little bit because Netflix needs to be talked about in 2013. Yes, the company was founded in 1997, but it wasn't until 2011 and then the peak of 2013 where Netflix really just blew up and paved the way for streaming services everywhere. 2013 was the year that Netflix changed their rules of content viewership. The word binge watching entered our vocabulary after they released their first original Netflix production of House of Cards, and they dropped all 13 episodes in one day. This was a crazy time all around for Netflix because a lot of people consider this to be a dead service because less and less people renting hard copies of movies. Netflix 2013 response to this was to split up their DVD online streaming movies in July 2011, but it was in 2013 when Netflix reported that they had signed up 2 million new subscribers and made $7 million in profit. And with these numbers, they completely defied all analysts' predictions. The year after that, in 2014, Blockbuster ended up filing for bankruptcy, and honestly, Blockbuster walked so that Netflix could run. That is my opinion. And let's be real here, Netflix and chill, that's a huge pop culture moment in the 2010s, am I right? It's now a part of our everyday vocabulary, and I'm very happy with it. Currently watching season 2 of You. Oh my god, it's so good. You guys watch it? Let me know in the comments. 2014 started off with a bang when Ellen DeGeneres broke the internet with that infamous, epic Oscar selfie at the 89th Oscars. This was honestly my favorite Oscars to watch, by the way. Ellen did a whole bunch of things like having a real live pizza guy deliver pizza to people in the audience, the selfie. I really loved Ellen hosting the Oscars. Want her to do that again sometime. But in this iconic selfie, Ellen DeGeneres walked off the stage and just kind of held up her camera there and waited for the massive celebrities to come join her. Well, it worked. In this epic selfie, you see here from left to right, Jared Leto, Jennifer Lawrence, Channing Tatum, Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, Kevin Spacey, Bradley Cooper, Brad Pitt, Lupita Nyong'o, Peter Nyong'o, and Angelina Jolie. At the time of this photo being posted, it became the most tweeted picture of all time, coming in at a whopping 3 million retweets. Sadly, it was dethroned 3 years later by a chicken nugget loving teen who broke the new record for most retweets. Aha, the internet. It giveth and it taketh away. Did I use that right? I don't know. The summer of 2014 was also the summer of giving. Remember the viral ALS Ice Bucket Challenge? 2014 was the year that it went viral. In case you didn't know, ALS is also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The whole premise of this challenge was that you were to either donate to the ALS Foundation or you dump a bucket of ice cold water on your head and challenge or nominate 3 other people to do the same thing. Whatever it was, I don't know why this caught on so well. I myself even did it. This viral challenge raised $115 million that summer. Absolutely incredible. What a fun way for the internet and for social media to get involved for such a good cause. And it's also been reported that all of those donations that happened that summer have actually led to some huge breakthroughs with ALS. So that's exciting. And it's really, really cool to see the tangible power of social media and how it can actually do a lot of good. And then in 2013, we cannot forget the epic Met Ball, where TMZ leaked footage of Solange, Beyonce, and Jay-Z in an elevator, and Solange lunging at Jay-Z and beating him up with her purse, while Beyonce just stepped aside and let her have it. At the time of this Met Ball, we did not have any elevator footage. We did not know what happened in that elevator until a little bit after the Met Gala. And honestly, this was such an epic moment because there are even some photos where like you could kind of see this look on Jay-Z's face when he left the elevator with his hand on his face like he had just gotten punched. Solange is leaving the elevator like she's angry, and Beyonce's just putting on the fakest smile that anyone's ever seen. I don't love when people get hurt, but this is just like such a funny thing that, you know what, celebrities are just like everyday people. We get in fights, sometimes we take it a little bit too far. That happened. Beyonce even included this line in her song Flawless where she says, "Of course some ish goes down when there's $1 billion in an elevator." So true. So very true. I can't relate, but I'm sure it's so true. At the time, we did not know what the fight was about, but we do now. Stay tuned where I cover Lemonade in a little bit. And then last for 2014, in my mind, was Taylor Swift's iconic 1989 World Tour. This tour became Swift's highest grossing and most attended tour to that point, selling 2.2 million tickets and grossing $250 million. It also became the most successful tour of 2014. She invited an epic slew of celebrities to come on stage with her, dance with her, perform, sing, just kind of wave hi to the crowd. And these are just a few of the celebrities that she brought up on stage. This also marked her first tour after making the controversial move from country to strictly pop. And this tour really proved that Taylor Swift can do anything she wants, and we all just need to let her. Not going to that concert is still one of my biggest regrets in life, but you know what? I can't dwell. No dwelling will be had today. 2015. 2015 brought us many new forms of inclusivity and awareness. In July 2015, Vanity Fair put Caitlyn Jenner on the cover of their magazine with the line, "Call me Caitlyn." Caitlyn Jenner, formerly Bruce Jenner, had struggled with his identity for his entire life, even though he was one of the most decorated Olympic athletes in US history, earning the 1976 gold medal in the decathlon. At the time, Bruce Jenner was considered one of the most famous athletes in the country. It wasn't until this historic cover on Vanity Fair did we realize that Bruce was really Caitlyn and wanted to be referred to as she and her from now on. You can love the Kardashians, you can hate the Kardashians, but the bottom line is, I believe that Caitlyn Jenner publicly coming out as transgender did an incredible thing for the world. No other major celebrity on the status level that is Caitlyn Jenner had ever come out publicly to be transgender or to even talk about the importance of using correct pronouns. Caitlyn Jenner is now happily living her life as a woman. She's dating other women, and she really did pave this pathway for the transgender youth in our country and in the world, I believe. I live in LA, and these kinds of conversations are all around me all the time, but there are people all over the country whose parents, grandparents, or maybe even kids my my age or younger who don't understand what transgender is, don't believe it's a real thing, and just the fact that Caitlyn Jenner brought this very public internal battle of hers to the forefront to be talked about, I know that it has made such a positive impact around the world and to make other people feel less alone. If you are struggling with your gender identity, that is okay. Even major celebrities like the Jenners struggle with these things too, and you're totally fine. You'll figure it out, promise. Speaking of awareness, 2015 also marks the year that our amazing President Obama and the US Supreme Court declared the Federal Defense of Marriage Act unconstitutional and paved the way for same-sex marriage in all 50 states. This was such an amazing day that I remember so well. I was sitting at my desk at work in Colorado, and then suddenly all my coworkers around me were like, "Did you hear the news? It's so exciting." And then I went on Facebook, and honestly, I started to get teary-eyed just reading post after post, liking everything on Facebook that I could. It's such a monumental thing in our history, and I feel so lucky and privileged that I got to witness such a historic day in our country. Love is love, and love always wins. And then probably one of the reasons I love the internet the most, in 2015, we were introduced to an issue that divided America. Is the dress black and blue, or is it yellow and white? I'm sorry, it is yellow. And if you see anything other than yellow and white, you are wrong. This was such a funny debate. It reminds me of the Yanny versus Laurel debate, but this one really had America talking. It was all over all the news shows, and I would love to know what you guys think right now. Right now, this picture that I'm showing you, what color do you see? Let me know. I just think the internet is the most fun when we focus on silly things like this, like, why not? Moving on to 2016. In 2016, Beyonce shook the world by doing a surprise drop of her iconic Lemonade album. It was in this album that she bravely came forward about all of the struggles that her and Jay-Z have had in her marriage, including adultery, including separation. And it also brought us on to the worldwide hunt of who is Becky with the good hair? Was she the reason that Beyonce and Jay-Z separated for a little bit? It really just took off and became this like huge social media witch hunt. I don't really know where we landed. There are some like speculations, but it doesn't matter because it seems to be that Beyonce and Jay-Z have worked through their problems. They are living a happy life with their 3 kids, and that was just an epic album. It was visual. Remember that? It was a visual album. It's beautiful. Beyonce she could really do no wrong. Very quickly, 2016 was also the year that Billie Eilish dropped her song Ocean Eyes on SoundCloud and her rise to stardom began. And then the summer of 2016 also brought us Pokemon Go. Guys, what a magical time in pop culture that was. I obviously grew up loving Nintendo, loving playing. I always liked Pokemon Red and Pokemon Silver the best, but ooh, Pokemon Go. That was a good time. Everyone was wandering around outside, getting exercise, catching Pokemon, and it was an epic time. We weren't inside watching TV as much. We were all just running around trying to catch them all. I can't believe I just said that, but it was so fun. And I kind of wish that everyone was still into it as much because I loved it. I don't know why I stopped. I think I stopped because my friends did, and I don't know, Netflix probably came up with a new show or something. And when Pokemon Go was released, the Nintendo stock went up by 200%. So yeah, it was a win for everybody that summer. And then last but certainly not least that 2016 brought us was the introduction to Stranger Things. At the time, we didn't really realize the amazing impact 11 and the whole gang would have on the world, but they have delivered each and every season without disappointment. And now 11, Millie Bobby Brown, looks like this, which is very strange and makes me feel very, very old. But Millie Bobby Brown, we love ya. We'll love you with any hairstyle. We're always behind you. Any Stranger Things fans out there, let me know in the comments. Do you have a favorite season? I don't really know if I have a favorite season. Number 1 is just so epic and amazing, you know? I don't know, you tell me. And then 2017. 2017 was a year that brought us many epic and iconic moments, and not all for good reason. Let's start with the 89th Oscars. This was a pretty interesting night with a huge mistake that happened right before the end of the credits. It all happened when La La Land, the movie that swept the Oscars that night, winning almost every single nomination, was announced as the best picture in 2017. However, after some on-stage scrambling of the envelopes, Jordan Horowitz, producer of La La Land, took the mic and held up the envelope saying that Moonlight was actually the winner of Best Picture. Apparently it had something to do with the company that writes up the envelopes. There was a mix-up. We don't really know. But Moonlight winning Best Picture was a huge milestone because it marked the first time an LGBT movie had won Best Picture. Woo! You can't make this stuff up. Sounds like Steve Harvey naming the wrong queen. And then into sadder/ridiculous-er news from 2017 is that massive dumpster fire gone wrong, aka Fyre Festival. Woo! That was quite a news story. In case you're unaware, Fyre Festival was a fraudulent luxury music festival promoted by Billy McFarland and rapper Ja Rule. This was a huge music festival that was being promoted by giant influencers such as Kendall Jenner, Gigi and Bella Hadid, Emily Ratajkowski, and so many others. They were touting themselves as the most luxurious festival that anyone had ever seen, so people were willing to spend $500 to $1,500 on a ticket, not including airfare to the Bahamas, just to go see if this was really gonna be the next Coachella. Well, none of that actually happened, and it will actually go down in history as the worst music festival that this world has ever seen. It will actually go down in history as the worst music festival that actually never happened in history. So, yeah. Festival goers arrived to the festival grounds to see a beach full of FEMA tents that are used in emergencies. No water, no actual food, and no direction. They were promised gourmet food and accommodations, and instead, they got this. Here's a picture of a lunch that was served, which just looks like a sad piece of old cheese on top of 2 pieces of bread with a questionable looking salad. This was such a crazy story, and it really turned into some like horror film. All of the headliners pulled out. Blink-182 was the first one to pull out. Netflix and Hulu actually released very detailed documentaries on Fyre Festival. I highly suggest you go check them out because it's wild. It's really wild what happened here. And then of course, moving into a little bit of sadder, but also silver lining news. 2017 was the year that the huge producer and movie executive Harvey Weinstein was exposed for sexual assault, sexual abuse, and rape by over 80 women. 80. This still blows my mind that this went on for so long, because Harvey Weinstein has a career spanning over 30 years. And at one point he was known as the king of movies in production. He has produced many, many favorite movies of ours that you might not even have realized. New York Times and the New Yorker actually broke the story on this, and I believe that they've won a Pulitzer Prize for this investigation. This paved the way for the hashtag #MeToo movement, which also brought to light so many other beloved celebrities who also demonstrated this kind of behavior behind closed doors. This list includes longtime and loved Good Morning America Matt Lauer, Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K., and many, many more men. Obviously, it was horrible and devastating to read these women's stories and their first accounts, and reading this and even just talking about it now gives me chills that these women had to go through something like this and keep their mouths shut in order to keep their jobs so they could keep feeding their families. It just makes me so angry. But if it weren't for these countless women's courage to share their stories, then no one would have known. Ever. Because now it's become this broader conversation that isn't even limited to just Hollywood. In every workplace, workspace, office, anywhere, this happens. So now I hope that men and women everywhere have a better understanding of what is consent, what is appropriate behavior, what is sexual assault, and what isn't. And now I really, really hope that all women out there will have the courage and won't be afraid to speak up in these situations. Honestly, things like this have happened to me in my life. What really shook me about this movement was the hashtag that was trending before this called #YesAllWomen. I dare you right now to go to Twitter and type in #YesAllWomen and see what comes up. These are things that we as women go through in our everyday life that men out there might not even realize. Maybe some do, but just things that really, really clicked with me were like, if I'm getting hit on by a guy at a bar and I tell him no, I'm not interested over and over again, the only way that I can get him to leave me alone is if I say I have a boyfriend, because this man would only respect another man and not me and my wishes. #YesAllWomen. There was another one that was like, any time that you have sent your friends, send me a text when you get home, or if you've ever walked through a parking garage with keys in between your arms. #YesAllWomen. We've been there, and it's wild that these are just things that in our lives we've grown accustomed to. Certain things that we have to avoid in our life in order to cater to misogynistic men who think that they have the right to catcall us on the street, and it's just a really weird culture. But honestly, out of everything that happened in 2017, whether it was the Yes All Women, #MeToo movement, I am glad that this stories came to light, because I do believe the world is starting to change just a little bit. I don't know how long it's gonna take for that change to fully take effect, but it's a start. And then the last thing that went down that was a huge deal in 2017, you know what I'm gonna say. It is Taylor Swift's drop of Look What You Made Me Do at the Video Music Awards that also, again, broke the internet. She revealed her dark, edgier side that would later pave the way for Reputation, the epic and edgy album of Taylor Swift that we all know and love. And fun fact, my decoding video of this very music video started my career here on YouTube. So that's amazing. Thank you, Taylor. And just love that Taylor was able to take that risk. Do you remember how exciting that week was? All media outlets were covering it, saying, look what you made her do, and just going through the Easter eggs, and that was a great time in 2017. And then 2018, this was also another big year of acceptance and breaking down barriers. The 2018 superhero movie Black Panther marked a huge milestone in Hollywood for African Americans. As someone who is white myself, it's not hard for me to find representation of myself in movies and in TV, and it's never been hard for me to find that. However, if you're not white, you might have had a harder time growing up watching television, watching movies, struggling to see yourself represented on the screen. Black Panther not only brought brought in tons of amazing reviews, but it's reported that Black Panther may have been the very first mega budget feature film with a Black director and a predominantly Black cast. So very cool. I love that. One of my favorite E! News hosts, Nina Parker, commented live on the success of Black Panther and how proud she was of the film and the effect that it had worldwide. Nina started to tear up talking about the hundreds of tweets and messages from school teachers around the world saying that young African American kids now finally had a heroic superhero to look up to. Nina was talking, and I also agree with her, about how important it is at such a young age to feel that you are represented in pop culture and in major media, and Black Panther did just that. It's an amazing movie. Long live Wakanda and equal representation. And then this year brought us yet another royal wedding, 2 in our lifetime, kind of crazy. And this one might have actually been a little bit of a bigger deal than William and Kate's. I am of course talking about the marriage of Prince Harry to actress/model Meghan Markle. This marked a huge milestone in the British royal family once again. Not only is Meghan Markle a huge Hollywood star, but she's also half Black and divorced, which is something that Kensington Palace has never ever seen before. But Queen Elizabeth welcomed Meghan Markle with open arms, as did the rest of the United Kingdom. Such an exciting day. I love looking at these pictures. And then in 2018, I couldn't decide which was a bigger deal, whether it was Thank You Next, the music video dropping, which was pretty freaking epic, or if it was Fergie trying and failing to sing the national anthem. It's so bad. There's even players just standing there on the court trying not to laugh. Oh God, that was a great day in history. It really was. So good. Might have been better than Adele Dazeem when John Travolta tried to announce Idina Menzel. Who knows? Love pop culture moments for this reason. Which brings us to 2019. Starting it off, I think it's safe to say that Game of Thrones ending this year really took control of the news cycle for a while. Whether you loved the ending or whether you hated the ending, it was still a huge deal. I still haven't been able to get myself into Game of Thrones, but I promise you that is something that's like a life goal of mine, is to get myself into Game of Thrones. It was such a big pop culture phenomenon, and a lot of people have marked Game of Thrones as one of the, if not the only, last popular television series to be released in the traditional way. 1 episode at a time, once a week. And I mean, clearly we're now in the age of streaming services dropping entire seasons in one day. But somehow, some way, Game of Thrones was able to sustain their weekly audience as they patiently waited for the series to unfold week by week. With the show ending, who knows if that's ever gonna be a thing anymore. I think we like binge watching a little too much. It also makes me wonder if any other TV series will go back to that model. Which do you guys prefer? Let me know in the comments. I will say that there is something special about having a TV show that you get to watch once a week, being suspended off of that cliffhanger and being forced to wait an entire week to find out what's gonna happen next. There's something exciting and special about that, and you don't want to miss through the commercials. I don't know, that's just like me growing up having like an OC party every Thursday. But I mean, of course, I still do love the ability to sit on my couch with a glass of wine with my dog and watch an entire season of something if I want to. I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? And then next up, 2019 also brought more awareness to mental health and the importance of keeping your mind and brain healthy and talking about things that you're going through, which, as you all know, is something I am so very passionate about. Remember the world record egg? This little cutie? It was this little egg whose Instagram picture achieved their goal of beating out Kylie Jenner for the most likes on one Instagram post, and they did it. After a long-awaited and very smart marketing plan, it was announced that this egg was here to talk to the world about cracking under the pressures of social media. I'm sorry, that is like one of the most fun and like engaging, interactive ways to get the entire world looking forward to what this egg is gonna tell us. But then for it to come out and create this thing called Talking Egg, talking about how it's okay to not be okay sometimes. Like, that is okay, everything you're feeling is normal. As long as you don't keep those dark and sad, twisty thoughts to yourself, share them with someone. It will make you feel better. And taking care of your mental health is so important. How can we spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars at the gym every month, but we don't put that same physical practice into our mind and our mindset, but we'll go to the gym for it. If you wanna be a better football player, you'll practice in the field. If you want to be a better ice skater, you got to practice that. If you want to be a better advocate for yourself and your own mental health, you've got to practice how to talk about mental health, how to see the signs, and to just know when it's time to get help, reaching out to someone with your problems or reaching out to them to listen to their problems. It's so important. Sorry for this rant. Mental health is very, very important, and I hope that it continues to be an important conversation in 2020. Moving on, in 2019, I'm also so very excited that 2019 became the year of Lizzo. Lizzo is a powerhouse singing talent whose personality goes unmatched. She's been grinding hard in the music industry for years, but it wasn't until her song Truth Hurts picked up traction this year that catapulted her into mega stardom. Something that I find so crazy that you guys might not even know is that Truth Hurts, she actually released this song in 2017, and no one really listened to it or heard it. It wasn't until someone dug deep, I don't know if it was one person or a bunch of people, they dug into her past discography, found Truth Hurts, and it started to blow up on the charts, so much so that they re-released it as another single in 2019. Very, very impressive, Lizzo. We love you. I love everything that you stand for, and I love that you are a gorgeous superstar that doesn't look like everyone else. I think that's amazing. Like I said with Black Panther, it is so important for young, insecure kids to see themselves, their skin color, their body type, represented on the television, in movies, and in Hollywood. So much more important than you would think. And then last, but absolutely not least, you guys absolutely know that I had to throw this last one in here. And that is the very important and very public battle between Taylor Swift, Big Machine Records, Scott Borchetta, and Scooter Braun. Obviously, I have talked about this issue a lot on my channel, so if you want a deep dive into these topics, you should go check out those videos and those live streams. I have included timestamps if it is live stream, but what I will say is that we all know that Taylor dealing with this with her record label is not the first of its kind. In fact, these type of contracts have been all over the music industry for years, since the beginning of time. Prince, 9 Inch Nails, JoJo, Carly Rae Jepsen, all of these huge artists have dealt with something to do with ownership with their record labels, and they lost. They lost this public battle and had to either re-record everything like JoJo did or just lose out on the money that is rightly theirs for their art. Art belongs to artists. In case you guys didn't know, I have merch that says that because I believe this so strongly. Taylor is just one of the first people to take a public stand and show the world what's really going on behind closed doors. Taylor Swift likes to call herself the resident loud person, and honestly, we love that about you, Taylor. This cannot be an easy thing to go through, but you know what? We are all so proud of you for speaking out. You've gotten through that cycle of hate, of deniers, of people saying that Taylor's just doing this for attention. Why in the world would she ever do this for attention? Riddle me that. That makes absolutely no sense. And I really just hope that this will elicit some change in the music industry. Even if you don't agree with her, I bet you anything there are young artists right now today signing contracts with labels, and they're asking, so what's the deal with my masters? What's the deal with ownership? Maybe they never would have asked those questions if it weren't for Taylor sticking up for herself in this situation. I do also want to quickly note that it has been rumored that after this huge public battle that Taylor's been having with them, that there might actually be some negotiations in the works to sell Taylor her masters back. I do not know if it's true or not. We will just have to wait and see what happens. Oh my god, this video ended up being a lot longer than I planned, but there was so much I wanted to cover. There were so many epic moments in pop culture that I didn't even mention, so really quick round off. Comment the ones down below that you think I missed. I totally didn't even talk about Ariana Grande, Pete Davidson, Mac Miller, the Thank You Next music video, the Jordan Woods cheating on Khloe Kardashian's baby daddy with Tristan Thompson, the college admissions scandal, Victoria's Secret canceling their show due to body discrimination, and Rihanna's Fenty Beauty collection that she released with 50 shades of foundation to make sure that every single person with every single skin color would feel represented in her makeup. That's a first for a makeup company, okay? That is a first. Rihanna is amazing. I never know if it's Rihanna or Rihanna, but you are such a classy class act. We love you, girl. And also, 2019 was a big year for YouTubers as well. Not only did YouTube become my full-time job in 2019, which is so cool to say, but there are other YouTubers that really paved the way for what is hopefully to become my future. Lily Singh, aka Superwoman, became the first YouTuber bisexual Canadian Indian woman to host her very own nightly talk show on NBC called A Little Late with Lily Singh. Pretty freaking huge deal, Lily. Then of course we also had James Charles, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, and Tati making major mainstream waves all across every media outlet, not just YouTube, showing just how powerful social media and YouTubers can be. There's obviously so many other things that I wanted to cover in this today, but I really just wanted to give you the roundup of my favorites, the one that I remember the most, and I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Are there ones on here that you thought that weren't iconic? Are there ones on here that you thought that I missed? Obviously, couldn't cover them all. I tried my best, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I can't believe it's 2020. I wish I had a little thing to go, woo! I'm about to go to a New Year's Eve party. God, in like 5 minutes, I've got to go leave, but I hope that you all had a wonderful end of 2019 and that you're having a graceful and amazing and positive outlook on 2020. I'm very, very excited to see what 2020 has in store for us, in store for me, in store for my business, and I love you guys. I will also be including a SurveyMonkey link down below that I included on last week's TST because I am looking for your guys' feedback on my channel. The kind of videos you want to see from me, the topics, anything you want to say to me at all, go fill out that SurveyMonkey link, and I would love to have you be a part of my future content on this channel. This was so much fun. I loved going back through and reading all of this stuff. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave it a like, share it on your social medias, and of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel with your post notifications turned on. Tongue twister, I got it through though. Last video that I'm recording of 2019. Woo! That's crazy. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.